Hey guys, it's Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to talk about budgeting and finances as a full-time college student that is working part-time. I find these videos are so helpful because I am trying to navigate my way through college while working part-time, but also being financially stable and able to support myself. My first couple of years of school, I really struggled because I wasn't taking my finances very seriously, and that got me into a bit of trouble. I'd be maxing out my credit card on random pointless stuff that I just didn't need. And one of my biggest personal development and understanding I've come to have with myself is that I am a reckless spender. Like when I get stressed, I turn to spending. And it's usually not for myself, it's usually buying things for other people because I think that makes me feel good thinking that I'm doing stuff for other people, but it's not necessary, and it's just in the end hurting me and my future. Within the last 6 months, I'd say I've been starting to take my finances more seriously and budgeting and following my budget. Especially as a college student, working part-time, you don't have a very forgiving finances, well, for me personally. So I found that sticking to a strict budget and following it has been one of the biggest saving graces for me and my money. Before I get into breaking down how I budget and what my financial planner looks like, I wanted to give some tips on how I kind of learned and retaught myself how to save money and where to kind of cut corners a little bit. So what I first did was I stopped going out to eat and I stopped buying coffee and drinks. I know it's so convenient when you're out already and you drive past a Tim Hortons or a Starbucks or a McDonald's. And you're like, oh, I'll just stop. It's only $5. It's only $10. Oh, it's only a toonie. I can afford it. But at the end of the day, if you're doing that a few times a week, that adds up pretty quickly. And in a week, you could be spending $50. If you are going either to work or school Monday to Friday and you do that every day, about $10 a day, there's $50. And in a month, there goes $200. So it does add up very quickly. So I just started being more mindful of where I was spending my money. And if I didn't, if it wasn't necessary at that time, if I didn't go out intending to get that with a purpose, then I didn't get it. And every once in a while, I've been doing a no spend or low spend month. This is where I don't buy anything except for the essentials, being food, gas, car insurance, stuff like that. I found this also helped because it made me notice and realize where I was spending my money carelessly and where I could be saving or cutting back. I also started writing everything down. Every time I spent money or earned money, I would make a note in my phone, which I'll put a screenshot over here of my little note. But I would write down everything I bought and everything I spent in that month and the exact dollar value of it. If it was a couple cents, I would just round up to the nearest dollar. This also helped me realize and brought to my attention where my money is going and how much I'm actually spending. Not just being oh, here's $2 at Tim Hortons, when in actuality it was closer to $5. And that $3 might not seem like a difference, but at the end of the day, it is a difference. If you are looking to buy something, I always write it down and then I keep my eye out on certain websites or stores. And if they're having a sale and I still want that item at that time, then I will buy it. I don't need to impulsively buy stuff. That was one of my biggest things, was impulsively buying. I would get an idea in my head and be oh, I need it right now. Let's go to Amazon. They'll have it for sure. Let's just buy it there. It's easy and convenient. Whereas no, if you take a step back and be okay, I want this. I don't need it right now. I can wait, so I will wait. And one of my last big tips is use your Visa to your advantage. I bank with RBC, so I have the rewards Visa. And this is so helpful. And one of the biggest tips I can give you is, I'm going to talk specifically for the RBC rewards Visa, but with that rewards Visa, every time you spend money, you are earning points. So with those points, you can in turn buy either gift cards or merchandise through the RBC rewards website or app, whichever you prefer to use. So you are basically getting free money for spending money, which isn't a reason to go out and spend a whole bunch of money because it's oh, I'm going to make more. No, use your Visa on things strategically and very intentionally. But if you do use your Visa, know that you can in turn get rewards for that. So use it to your advantage. Now that I have all those tips out of the way, let's get right into using my financial planner. I just use Google Docs for mine. I actually made it in Excel and then transferred it to Google Docs because I like the Excel functions better, but I like how on Google you can share between all of your devices because I like having access to this on both my laptop and my phone. But as you can see, I have a few different tables in here. My first one is income, so I'll start here. I get paid bi-weekly, so it's usually 2 checks a month. But this month for November, there's actually 5 weeks, so I'm getting paid 3 times. That's why I have check 1, 2, and then miscellaneous, because sometimes this happens, but sometimes not. And I don't have a set amount of hours per week. Every week isn't the same, my shifts change. So I don't know exactly how much I'm gonna make, so I under budget. I try to do this because then I will have more than I'm anticipating, and I'd rather under budget than be underpaid my actual amount. So I just budget $500 for both checks, and then I got 2 of my checks so far. First one was $505, and then my second one was $650. And then my miscellaneous, I'm gonna leave that until I get paid my 3rd check and then just total it up. And then moving on to my expenses, this is just kind of a generic overview of the main categories that I use. And again, I over budget so that I'm not out money. So I budget my car insurance for $300, and that gets automatically taken out of my account each month, but it's actually $295. My phone bill, I know is $70, so that doesn't change. Gas is so expensive right now in Ontario, so I'm gonna budget $175, which is kind of crazy. And so far, I filled up my tank twice, and it's been $140 right now. And I don't really like doing this right now, but I'm doing it for the sake of the video. I usually just do it at the end of the month. As I said before, I keep a tally on my phone. So then at the end of the month, I'll just go through it all. But for the point of this video, I'm just gonna enter things as it is now. For groceries, I live at home, so I don't really have a lot of expenses for groceries. The only time I really pay is when I'm at my boyfriend's house and I'm buying food for us. So that's $50. I'm not gonna fill that in right now because again, just gonna wait till the end of the month. Self-care is $30, and I have spent $15 at Sephora. I don't plan on spending any more this month, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Going out, I budget $60. And actually November is a no spend, no eat out month for my boyfriend and I. So I don't plan on using this, but it's there just in case. And I kind of use the same budget month to month, except for gas, because gas right now is like $1.45 in Ontario. It is nuts, but what can you do? At least I have a car to drive. And then other is just like miscellaneous things, but I feel like I've covered most of the stuff, so I don't really worry too much about that section. I kind of just put $20 in case. And then total it all up. And then that comes out to about $705. And my actual, I'm just gonna leave that for right now. But then amount remaining, and I follow my budget column and my amount column, I never cross them over. So my amount remaining from my budgeted income total is $295. And then moving on to my Visa, I did pay quite a bit of it off just not too long ago, but on right now is some Christmas presents, and with my last paycheck I'm gonna finish just paying that off altogether. Then moving over to my savings goals, I'm actually gonna change clothes. I was gonna save for work clothes because I start an office job next spring, but that's besides the point. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but I don't need this because Christmas is coming up, so just gonna scratch this, and I'm actually going to change it to Christmas fund. And I'm gonna start all my savings. I'm starting them from scratch right from the beginning. So $0. And my goal, I want to be able to have like 250-ish. So my last paycheck is gonna get split between my Visa and my Christmas fund saving. I'm going to a Justin Bieber concert in March. I'm going to the Justin Bieber concert. And I want to have about another 250 saved for that, for drinks and miscellaneous food. Tickets have already been paid for, so I don't have to budget in for that. My rainy day fund, this is just to have because you never know, like if Millie has to go to the vet, my car breaks down, just want to have a nice chunk of change in there. So then I have my goal that I want in the total, and then how much I have left to save. Moving on to my last category, which is miscellaneous earnings. This is just wherever I get money from, I put it in here. And I usually, only if it's like a decent amount of money, if it's like 20 bucks, I really won't include that. I'll just put that towards, like I also have a cash savings like in my house, if that makes sense. Just like a jar of money. I usually just put it in there because it's like, it's $20. It's nice to have cash sometimes too, if I do have like a last minute purchase I need to buy, or if I'm buying something small and it's just easier to pay with cash. So for my miscellaneous earnings, I sold a couple of things on Marketplace. So my amount I made off of that was $125, and I deposited that into my Visa earlier this month. My Visa statement was due like the second week of November or something. So this is kind of nice because I'm kind of starting with a clean slate when I'm doing this video right now. And this is just kind of like an average thing. There's a fruit fly. Did you just see that? And Millie's on the table. And then I also sold some of my horse tack at a local consignment store. And I got 120 from that, and that also went towards my Visa. So just to summarize everything, kind of recap, my biggest tip is write down everything you're spending. That way you can go back and see where you can cut things out and where your money is actually going. That was probably the biggest eye-opener for me, because I would just spend money, especially with COVID, like online shopping has become a lot more popular. So it was just, oh, my laptop or phone auto saves all my Visa information. Let's just upload it. Like, oh, yep, just a click of a button and here I bought it. And I was never paying attention to where my money was going. I was just buying, very clicker happy. It was not good. But now that I've actually taken a step back and noticed where my money is going, it is honestly a little bit sickening to see how much money I was spending so recklessly and impulsively, and how much money I could have saved if I didn't do that. But you live and you learn. At least I realized it now. So I really want this video to help you guys if you were in the same situation I was in. You can get out. You just really have to be very mindful of where your money's going and make an effort to save. It has to be a goal, and also setting long-term goals to have a place to put your money and to be saving for is also very beneficial, because then you have a purpose to save, and that's always in the back of your mind. But anyways, I hope you found some helpful information out of this video and you enjoyed it. And if you would like me to share my document on Google Drive, I'd be more than happy to leave a link down below, but it's nothing special. Like, I just kind of made it up pretty quick with stories that are relevant to my life right now. But anyways, I hope you all have a great day, and I'm so excited for Christmas. I'm going to be having some Christmas videos out here shortly, but I will see you guys all later. Bye.